Greetings, Cowboys fans. In today's video, I bring a lot of news, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'm grateful to all of you who are watching. If a key player leaves, the strategy might be reevaluated to go backward, looking for a second-round pick and opting for an offensive lineman in the first, along with a running back and a cornerback with the 2 secondary options. Another possibility would be to trade twice, securing 3 second-round picks, hoping that a defensive lineman will be available in the second round, as simulations suggest an abundance of trade offers, especially in the higher positions. If this player isn't available, we could negotiate to secure a promise at the end of the first round, bringing in relevant names for the defense. It's a viable approach, but it's wise to be cautious with the simulations, as they often produce similar results. While they are useful tools, they might not represent reality, and the targeted player might not be available anymore, leading to a hasty pick to secure the desired athlete, as other teams may trade up. This strategy can work well if implemented correctly, but it's not as simple as simulations make it seem. When approaching a higher level wide receiver, it's interesting to observe which attributes make him exceptional. He is versatile, able to play both inside and outside the field, making him capable of fulfilling multiple roles on the team. He stands out in his ability to get away from defenders, being one of the best in this regard. Moreover, he is extremely threatening after the catch, demonstrating effectiveness that exceeds his size, both after the reception and when the ball arrives. Combining his skill in escaping defenders with his performance after the catch, we have a truly remarkable football player. To top it off, he also has impressive chemistry with his quarterback. These aspects were raised through a feature that enables direct user interaction. Taking advantage of the opportunity, the excellent synergy between the receiver and the quarterback stands out. All these comments came through a feature on YouTube that allows direct user interaction. It works like a chat, but it's available on demand. Users can edit their messages and send whatever they want, with mentions happening during the broadcast. What are your thoughts on receiver Jimmy Horn Jr. from Colorado? Moving from the 7th round to the 5th, considering his measurements, could he become an important player? He stands at 5 feet and 8 inches tall, weighing 178 pounds, primarily playing as a slot receiver. Additionally, he adds value as a return specialist. There's a belief that his performance is slightly better than what his measurements indicate, although he didn't stand out in the general test. Perhaps another receiver from Colorado is a more fitting comparison, but their roles on the field are quite similar. The team already has a shorter slot receiver capable of executing creative plays and return duties. Jimmy Horn was rated as a 7th round pick, but he might be selected a bit earlier. There isn't an urgent need for this type of receiver on the team, as his main role at Colorado was a screen player, a position often used due to offensive line struggles. However, it's believed that he might not have the necessary playing ability. Could Josh Butler have been overlooked? The idea is not, though there's no strong reliance on him due to an ACL injury in November. It was a serious injury, and there's doubt whether there's any positive variation with this type of injury. It's unlikely that he'll be ready for the first week. Furthermore, there's hesitation in considering an ex-UFFL athlete with a limited sample as our second option. It would be preferable for him to earn that position more obviously. Regarding roster depth, he hasn't been forgotten. As for starting in week 1, it's believed he won't be available. So how concerned are you about the cornerback position? Rated from 1 to 10, with 1 being the least and 10 being the highest, this is certainly a situation worth paying attention to, so feel free to share your thoughts. Is there a possibility of Deuce Vaughn leaving? This is quite likely. The team is expected to select a new running back relatively early in this draft. This would be the main focus. Think of Javonte Williams is the second option, especially to help with third downs. This opens up space for other contenders fighting for 1 or 2 spots. Deuce Vaughn could be a practice squad player, which cannot be ruled out. However, it is believed that given the investment and limited playing time, they aren't counting on him or assuming he will be on the main roster. If a player is signed, a defensive lineman could be moved to the slot position, or perhaps it's better to look for a slot cornerback in the draft after the 3rd round. Also, if there's relevant information, it can be taken into account The advantage of signing someone is that this player can play both roles, and there's a realistic expectation that by May, the 3 best starters on this roster could include a defender playing nickel once a player is healthy. Currently, this player is in the final year of his contract and probably doesn't want to play frequently in the nickel position, or at least his agent doesn't want him to, as this could decrease his market value. The expectation is that everyone will be happy offering a fair pay to this player, which would make the situation more comfortable. And who knows, at the start of the season, one player might be on the outside, another in the nickel position, and a young player in the opposite slot. If the young player stands out, there might be a need to relocate one of the players. Therefore, there's an intention to please him and make him more receptive to this change by offering fair compensation, as this adjustment is desirable. Regarding the return of a player, there are doubts about this relationship. Teams rely on different coaching staffs during various periods, so the possibility is still open. It's unclear if there was an understanding last time, but if no key player is added in the draft, someone essential will need to be available. What a sensational play. I'm not sure how the relationship is there. With new coaching staffs now, it seems there's an opportunity. I think the team didn't fully understand last time since they are reintegrating Hankins, but if they don't add a defensive lineman in the draft, I'll really need someone there. I need an athlete who can assist with line plays. So, would you bring Hankins back? Let me know your opinion in the comment section of today's video. Can CTE be contracted just by making knee plays? I'm really concerned about Kurt Benkert after that ridiculous trade. I noticed but ignored it because it seemed pointless, like the transaction that occurred sending Dak to another team for a first-round pick and then starting Milton for 1 year, arguing that both sides won, which makes no sense. It's a great strategy for one team, but it doesn't apply to the other. Somehow, this gives a team a chance to win the division and turns the other into a Super Bowl contender, which is contradictory. I don't understand how they pull this off, as it doesn't make sense. Sometimes we all have distorted views, myself included, and that was just one of them. The new material for the 2025 NFL Draft is out, with new caps featuring the team pin in black and a slightly darker shade of black, along with hoodies that go beyond the caps. Make sure to grab yours as soon as possible. A clickable link will appear in that other corner. It's chatports.com Cowboys Draft for the Cowboys 2025 NFL Draft material. I believe the team shouldn't go for a running back in the first round, but maybe consider Caleb Johnson in the second and Raheem Sanders in the fifth, making a double selection at the position. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for that. If the idea is to make this double pick, that's fine. If they pick Caleb Johnson in the second round, which is being highly rated, I'm not sure if it's essential, but he's a great running back for outside zone plays. I'm excited to see more outside zone plays from this team, as I believe this fits well with the current roster. If you want to consider a second alternative, that's perfectly fine. Picking Caleb Johnson in the second round could be a solid decision, though I'm not sure it's essential. He's an excellent running back for outside zone plays, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that concept from this team, as it seems to align well with the current personnel. I'm not sure about the actual plans regarding this, but selecting Johnson in the second round could definitely be an option. On the other hand, I don't have much confidence in Raheem Rocket Sanders, as I projected him more for the 7th round. However, he fits the profile of a zone running back. In fact, I was quite impressed with his testing results, which were better than I expected. I know he had some weight issues in the past, but he showed improvement in early down situations, which is a good sign. I placed him somewhere in the 6th round, but if it's in the 5th, that's fine too. If you want to explore different options, there will be plenty of choices available. The scenario involving Parsons prompts consideration of whether the emphasis lies on the length of the contract or its financial elements. The main concern seems to be the absence of an agent in this negotiation. Had there been representation, a deal would likely have materialized by now. Agents play a vital role in safeguarding their clients from unfavorable circumstances. The terms of duration and financial elements are interconnected. Disagreements over the length naturally lead to disputes regarding the financial aspects. In the league, a longer contract is usually tied to a greater financial obligation. Achieving an agreement without an agent's involvement is unlikely. The negotiations are clear-cut. The financial expectations are widely understood and considerable. If both sides were eager, the deal could be wrapped up within a day or possibly by the next. It is possible for an agreement to be reached prior to this information being disclosed, but proactive communication with the other party is necessary. From a leverage standpoint, it is clear that the organization needs to take the lead in concluding the agreement. The matter at hand isn't inherently complicated. An agreement might have already been established before this information is released. Nonetheless, it is crucial for someone to reach out to the other party to initiate communication. From a leverage perspective, it should be the organization that steps forward to finalize the deal. It's a straightforward undertaking. There is considerable interest in running back Yars Hunter from Auburn, with projections indicating he could be chosen between the 3rd and 5th rounds, likely landing in the 4th. His performance has been notably impressive, demonstrating strong yardage after contact while appearing larger than his actual dimensions of around 5 feet 10 inches and 208 pounds. He clocked a 40-yard dash time of 4.44 seconds, exhibiting solid lower body strength, an advantageous quality for a running back as it aids in maintaining balance and speed. Notably, his shuttle time was slower than his 40-yard dash, a rare occurrence, indicating he may excel in straight line speed but struggle with agility. There could also be some vision concerns, potentially influenced by the offensive scheme he operated within, yet he remains an underrated talent. If he is selected in the 3rd round, it would be a commendable choice, and acquiring him in the 4th round would certainly be beneficial. There are also appealing prospects like Tim Hoover and Dylan Sampson, who could present great value in the 3rd round. The talent pool available between the 3rd and 4th rounds, or even late in the 2nd round, provides numerous options. Sampson has significant potential, supported by the offensive system he played in at Tennessee, which effectively spread the field and reduced the number of defenders in the box. Last year, Tennessee encountered difficulties in their passing game, with Sampson being a crucial element of their offensive achievements. If a wide receiver isn't selected early, the preference could shift towards Amari Cooper over Keenan Allen, assuming pass connections are re-established. Cooper offers an outside presence that might not be easily matched by Allen. Failing to secure an early receiver wouldn't be a major setback with either option, as another failed option is necessary, even if temporarily. Additionally, consideration should be given to a player who could bolster the team in the upcoming offseason. I will make the choice of an athlete who offers external performance that could be more advantageous than what another player has to offer. If you don't manage to secure a receiver right away, it's important to consider other options, as it's essential to have an additional player on the team, even if it represents just a temporary solution for the season. Think of an athlete you'd like the team to acquire this offseason, whether through the draft, free agency, or trades. The analysis surrounding the LSU Tigers focuses on who could be selected as a player with defensive potential in the 1st round. I don't view this choice negatively. It's a decision that values defensive skills. An athlete that fits this description is a player from Georgia. I don't intend to be critical of him, but if the selection is based on trades along the defensive line, this player can also be considered a skills-based choice. As for the Cowboys, what are your impressions of an athlete from Iowa, or maybe other options in later rounds if it's necessary to strengthen the defensive line? It's worth mentioning that he is the younger brother of a well-known player, which is an interesting piece of information. He is a slightly shorter safety from Rice, with a time of around 4.4 in a 40-yard dash. I believe he decided to return to university, but that may not have happened. Let me confirm that. Actually, he declared for the draft. I haven't had a chance to analyze him since I didn't follow Rice's games this year. I will refer to an expert evaluation that placed him among the safeties. His official 40-yard dash time is 4.55, with measurements of 5'8" and 188 pounds. This context indicates he could be an undrafted free agent, but teams often need to sign 1 or 2 undrafted free agents for safety positions. So think about your preferred safety option for signing. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In an unexpected turn of events, Ezekiel Elliott has finally broken his silence regarding his departure from the Dallas Cowboys. and the words he's chosen to share have left the football world stunned after his time with the Cowboys ended. Abruptly in 2023, many had hoped for a smooth transition, but in a recent candid interview, Elliott didn't hold back, delivering harsh criticisms of the organization that drafted him and helped shape his career. With everything on the line, Zeke has clearly decided it's time to speak out, leaving fans and analysts eager for more. The former Cowboys star running back has been notoriously tight-lipped about his departure, but now, with the benefit of some distance, he's sharing his frustrations. He expressed feeling undervalued, not just in his final years in Dallas, but throughout his tenure with the team. Elliott made it clear that while the Cowboys might have once been a great fit, the lack of respect he received in his final seasons left him disillusioned. I gave everything to that organization. And for what, he remarked, suggesting that the Cowboys' treatment of him wasn't as loyal as it should have been, especially considering his status as one of the most dynamic running backs in the league at his peak. But the harshest words were reserved for how his role was handled in 2022, his final year with Dallas. Elliott hinted at a growing disconnect between him and the coaching staff, revealing that he felt pushed aside in favor of other options. Despite his impressive track record, his frustration grew when he was asked to take on a diminished role, contributing primarily in short yardage situations, a move he claimed was disrespectful to his skills and legacy. "I deserved more than that," Elliott added, visibly upset by the way things played out during his last season with the Cowboys. Although Elliott's comments may come as a shock to many, his new chapter with the Los Angeles Chargers, where he's now part of the practice squad, has certainly left people wondering what more he might have to say. It's clear that the bitterness from his Cowboys days hasn't completely faded, and as the NFL season progresses, fans will be watching closely for any additional remarks. One thing is certain, Ezekiel Elliott has no intention of quietly fading into the background. He's ready to confront his past and show that he still has plenty to prove. As Elliott embarks on his new journey with the Chargers, it remains to be seen if his story with the Cowboys will be one he's willing to fully leave behind. If anything, these recent comments have only added fuel to the fire, creating a sense of anticipation around what's next for Zeke, both on and off the field. The football world is watching, and it's clear that this narrative is far from over. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the cage next video.